Hey, what's up, everybody? Video 44 coming at you with another video. All right, so it's about what, 2 hours, 3 hours before tip-off with the Lakers and the Clippers. First time we've met up with this team all year long. Finally in January. What can I say, man? The Clippers just got a better team. Y'all saw my pregame video. Y'all heard my concerns, man. I have real concerns, and the biggest concern that I have right now is just that we may go through the trade deadline without making any more moves. And while I thought we had a team that couldn't win before we started making trades, championship that is, I thought we could at least kind of function as a basketball team, maybe add a few things in the buyout market and complete our situation. Maybe we get lucky and a center gets bought out, right? Something like that. Or maybe we can get a wing or something in the buyout market. That was my thinking worst case scenario. Right now, we're really relying upon that buyout market if we don't make a trade, because the thing about it is now we have what I consider a broken basketball team, a team that can't really compete. It has parts that make a team good, but it's missing the pieces that make a team come together. And that is why I have harbored great newfound concerns for this unit. I think it's one of those things where it's like, if you add the stuff that's missing, the team is better than it was, because you have bigger pieces, you have more switchable lineups, you got catch and shoot guys. You know what I mean? You have a, I think at this point, it's like, yeah, you got Dorian Finney-Smith, he could really help. And if you bring back Vanderbilt, now you're talking about a defensive team. But what's going to make the pieces come together if for some reason Austin goes down? Now you're more relying upon Austin and LeBron to stay healthy in order for your team to have any functionality whatsoever offensively. And then you're not good enough defensively to where if that happens, you can function at all either. So it's like, I think it's one of those situations where you just want the GM now to find a way to get the pieces that make everything come together, the facilitative piece. And, of course, address the center position, for which is kind of what everybody's looking at regardless. I think Trey Jemison is like a plug-in big guy, which is something that I would have wanted us to do anyway. I'm happy we did that. I don't know that he's overly talented, but I also don't know that he can't do a lot of damage in some key areas and probably be a more useful piece for us than Jackson Hayes is right now. And I think he'll potentially be a more useful piece. So that's my thing. It's like, all right, well, that's a good add to our team. But we moved on from Quincy Olivari. I didn't agree with moving on from Quincy Olivari. I'm of the mindset that Quincy is going to be a nice player. So there's no reason to move on from him. How you doing, bro? And that's really what it comes down to for me. I just want us to keep the young talent that we have at this point. Don't give up on that young talent any further. We keep letting good players go out the door. It's another player that's turned into something. Mo Wagner, even though he's out for the season right now, but it's like that's one more player that we just let go for nothing. Like I don't think we even traded him for anything worth having. It's just one more name that I kind of, not to say I forgot about it, but it's like I have to since realize that he's really turned into a nice player. He really has over the last couple of years with the Orlando Magic. And so it's like, we could have got some value for him. It's just the list of what the Lakers have let go of is better than the list of stuff that we have. And that's what I want people to understand. Since Rob Pelinka's taken over, the list of the stuff that we let walk out the door is a better basketball team than ours. And that is ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous when you really consider it. And I know there's a lot of nuance and understanding and things to consider as it pertains to contracts. It's not as simple as just picking worser players and letting them stay. You need to make sure that contracts added up, and you want to make sure your books is clean, and all that has a lot to do with some of the choices that we've made, and probably some of the more recent choices that the Lakers have made as well. You probably feel like they were done for contractual reasons and flexibility reasons. You don't want to let D'Lo go for nothing because he's about to expire, and you probably don't want to re-sign him. Certainly don't want to re-sign him at a price he's going to be pleased with. So you got to get something for him. So I get that he's in a And when I say he, I mean Rob Pelinka is in a world where people know what he needs, so it's harder for him to get those needs met. People know what they want to cripple your team, not necessarily help you stay above the float, stay above water, and ultimately still be able to win while taking care of all these financial, contractual needs for your franchise. So it's like, because he needs certain things and everybody know what those needs are, we're such a high-profile team, everybody's watching us all the time and reporting back to their various organizations of what they see. It makes it very difficult for the Lakers to actually get what they need. And that's the frustration for me as a talking head. So, I don't know, man. I think some of the things that people want ain't going to be good enough for them to win. And that's what I'm always arguing. Like, you can bring me Bruce Brown and Walker Kessler, we're still not going to beat the OKC Thunder right now. You can give away your picks to make that happen. You're not going to beat the Thunder. You need something that people aren't asking for. And that is a facilitator, a connective piece, somebody who's going to average about 6 assists or more in that starting lineup or off of that bench, or both. That's what you really need to be able to be a cohesive team. Until then, you're not good enough. And those who are saying we need a center more than that, no, we don't. You truthfully don't. Because you can get that center, and your offense is still going to be extremely stagnant, and you're still going to lose the same games. That's the point. That is the exact point I want people to understand. You can get that Walker Kessler piece, but because you don't have anybody finding anybody else the ball, and you only have LeBron and Bron and Austin doing that, you're still going to lose the same games, just a different way. And it's going to be you being stagnant in second and third quarters. Probably you'll be able to get it done in the fourth quarter. You put your stars on the floor, but you're probably going to be so far out of games because you had so many scoring droughts of 6 and 7 minutes like we just had against the Brooklyn Nets. Scoring droughts. You can't win basketball games against elite offenses and elite defenses if you have scoring drought issues. And that is exactly what this unit is going to continue to have until they get that connective piece back on the team. Bruce Brown doesn't do that. Walker Kessler doesn't do that. And I keep telling people, I know what we need. You need Alonzo Ball, you need a Josh Giddey, or you need somebody who's going to facilitate like that. You had that piece. It was D'Angelo Russell. As flawed as he was, he did that. He made sure people got the ball. And when you remove that piece and don't replace it, now you don't have anybody who naturally does that but LeBron James. And I keep telling people he ain't that great at this. He's not that great at this. I don't give a damn how wonderful of a pass he can make. He's not a point guard, and he needs a point guard to do their job on his team for him to be as good as he wants to be. And that is something the Lakers need, man. They need that bad. You can talk about centers, you can talk about connective, other positions that make us switchy and point of attack defense and all of that stuff is wonderful. But this is basketball. And what the Lakers are going to have problems with this unit currently constructed is that they can't make enough baskets. These scoring droughts are going to continue. These low-scoring 102-point games, 97-point games, they're going to keep coming until you get that piece I keep telling y'all about. So that's what I'm telling you, man. We got to get our head out of our backside. We're not going to get as far as we think we're going to get, giving away our picks and not bringing back that piece. This is basketball, and it requires ball movement to win. Not just defense, not just tall people, and certainly not just three-point shooting. You need connective pieces. What's the point of getting catch-and-shoot players if nobody's passing these guys the ball? Catch and shoot. You don't have anybody making that catch possible by passing it to them. And this is the problem. You give me Dorian Finney-Smith, but you don't have a point guard getting him the ball. He's a catch-and-shoot corner shooter. Who the hell's passing to him? This is the problem. This is why you don't trade D'Angelo for a piece like that. Unless you already had that piece in place or have a way to get it. So I keep telling people, go after Markelle Fultz. Waive somebody. I don't give a damn if you have to waive and stretch people. If you're going to do things that are questionable in regards to the betterment of your future, like trading away first-round picks to fill the necessities of this roster, then why would one not be willing to stretch a contract to create a roster spot? This is the question I have for all who would listen. Talking heads and Laker GM and anybody else that'll listen to me. If we're willing to give away picks so that we can complete this basketball team, why are we not willing to stretch contracts so that we can create roster spots to get these guys up out of here that can't help us so that we can bring in the guys who ultimately can? Why wouldn't we do that? See what I'm saying? People want to give away our future, but they don't want to take on contracts they got to pay for more than 3 or 4 years in a row. Stretching these contracts makes it so that they got to pay these people like they're paying these stupid coaches they keep hiring and firing. No. No. You can't tell me it makes sense for me to be giving away 12-year-olds in 2025 that could potentially be great players someday and tell me that I got to sit on Jackson Hayes because nobody wants to waive this guy or stretch his contract out or whatever. Hell nah. Get these players that you ain't going to use off your team by hook or damn crook. If we're willing to give away first-round picks for role players, we should definitely be willing to stretch the hell out of a Christian Wood. So that's something that, like, these are the type of decisions that I need people to be able to make so that we can create the roster spots necessary if we can't make them trades. It shouldn't have lasted. We should have never even been in this situation. As soon as it was clear that Cam Reddish was opting in his contract, he should have been the first player moved out. He should have been moved as soon as the trade opened up. And I like Cam Reddish, he cool, but like, you need the roster spot. As soon as he started playing well, you should have shipped him anywhere that anyone would take him. For anything they would take, they would give you. Second round pick, cash considerations, you need the roster spot. Jackson Hayes, same thing. As soon as they had their best game, he should have been gone. And anybody would take him. Cash considerations. $500,000, you can take this guy. Seriously. So that we can have a damn roster spot. I'm waiving anything that I'm not using, man. Christian Wood, man, you stretched, bro. Stretched out like elastic. Thank you. In China now. Like, these are the type of things the Lakers should have been doing early in the season, if at all possible. You're sitting here waiting for people to come back with our timeline. What kind of sense does that make? But then you're giving away players like Quincy Olivari so that you can fill in the void that a hurt player is missing? Is creating by missing, rather? What kind of sense does that make? Got us forever waiting on Christian Wood. Got us forever waiting on Vanderbilt. You got Bronny on the team eating up a roster spot, and you keep cutting talented players left and right. Cutting talented players and bringing back trash. Or stuff that's not trash, but it ain't no good. Next to the stuff that ain't that good, it becomes trash. And so for me, it's like, yo, man, all these decisions the Lakers been making have made them a significantly worse team, man, as it pertains to your talent level and your ceiling. I do not think we're even as good as we thought we were just 4 weeks ago, man. We're not. We're heavily reliant on Austin, Bron, and AD to carry this basketball team, man. Heavily relying on that because we keep making decisions to patch up mistakes that don't bring us more talent, and we keep letting young players exit the situation. How you doing, man? That's what the situation is. We keep letting good players go. Young players that can get a lot better, that can balloon. We don't capture no value for these guys. No value. We just let them walk. And they keep on getting opportunities in other organizations. And then those organizations get to capture the value of the players that we draft, that we scout. This is why I'm done with Rob Pelinka. This is why. Because it's gotten to a point where now I look around and I say, yo, stuff that was supposed to give me the little value that I'm going to have tomorrow is now exiting my organization, and I'm bringing back more stuff that's not going to be useful in the market. Trey Jemison, not useful in the market. Jackson Hayes, not useful in the market. Cam Reddish, not useful in the market. Christian Wood, not useful in the market. JHS, my 17th overall pick, not useful in the market. Shake Milton, not useful in the market. You see what I'm saying? And I'm letting people who are go for nothing. Scottie Pippen, now useful in the market. AC, now useful in the market. Like, you see what I'm saying? The stuff that we keep not getting nothing for is the stuff that keeps on being valuable for other people. And the crap we have ain't valuable to us. At some point in time, I got to look at the person who's controlling that and say, yo, stop being the problem here, man. I know you're trying to balance a lot, and I know a lot of mistakes have already been made. But stop letting stuff that could get better tomorrow walk away for nothing. Because it doesn't take long for these guys to go somewhere else and start showing the value that ultimately we could have realized if we would have kept them on our team. And you're bringing me garbage. You're signing garbage. You feel me? Like, that's what it's coming down to. Jackson Hayes shouldn't have even been scouted, let alone signed. He was never any good when he was with New Orleans. How's he here as the only backup center I got? The boy can't play, man. He can't play. He's eating a roster spot up. And I'm getting rid of guys that I know can play. Quincy Olivari, I already know he can play. Scottie Pippen Jr., I already knew he could play. You know what I'm saying? Like, these type of stuff, it's gotten to a point where we have so many of these little things happening at once, to now my patience is dried up. My talent level is dried up. We only got a few really good young players on this team right now. You know what I'm saying? Dalton Connect, our 17th overall pick, is playing like trash. Why doesn't he have enough talent around him so that it's not relying upon him to be any good in his rookie season? I look at Dalton Connect asking him he better do more. Why the hell do he better do more? He's a rookie. But that's how little talent we have on this damn roster right now. That you need a guy like Dalton to play better right now. In fact, he's an older rookie, so it's almost disappointing that he's not. It's like, man, this is trash. Rob, every day, this team is showing me that the choices that we've been making for the last 6 years have all but been horrible for us, man. Okay? That's the only conversation I'm willing to have about this team right now. I understand we're on a 2-game winning streak, but we haven't looked that great in these games that we've won. Take Austin Reeves playing out of his absolute mind for us to beat a bad Nets team without Anthony Davis. We're too reliant on our stars, and the players that surround those stars don't even come together like that. They're not even that good together around the stars. And some of this stuff could have been avoided just by making other decisions, just by having a different opinion about what it is you're looking for. And that's the part that I can't shake. That's the part that I have the most trouble with. It just came down to opinions. Yo, let's go with this guy, that guy. Let's go with this guy. And that guy was the better guy for us. That type of stuff is unforgivable. And it's too much of that. Too much of that's happening. Too damn much. Too damn much. So now we're going into this Clipper game. I don't have no faith in us beating the Clippers at all. Zero faith. Zero. Because I just see such a better basketball team than the Lakers right now. So many more useful, talented pieces. And not only that, but so many more bodies. So many more bodies. They got 11 players off of their bench that they're utilizing right now. And we're using 4. Like that man. Listen, y'all. We ain't got that many injuries, bro. That's what it really comes down to. Lakers are waiting on what? 2, 3 people to come back from injury? How the hell have we turned so many roster spots into empty shit? Excuse my language. Empty. Jalen Hood-Schifino's not used. Bronny James not used. Traore's not used. Cam Reddish has been getting DMPs. Christian Wood out for 1 million years. Vanderbilt out for 1 million years. Koloko, I can't use him because Bronny's eating a roster spot, but he's sitting in the G League. This is a real problem. Bronny is in the damn G League, and he's eating up a real roster spot on our team, and we're lacking in talent. This is absolutely backwards, and I'm telling y'all, man, I know the losses are coming. I'm telling y'all know me. If you've been following me, you know I have a good feel for this type of stuff. The losses are on the way. If we don't get these pieces that we need to fix the problems that we currently have, when this schedule starts taking a turn for the more difficult, boy, are we going to lose some games in some unprecedented ways for the Lakers. It's coming, man. We can't roll a single ankle. We definitely can't have no season-ending injury. This team is going to suck in a way that we haven't known in a couple years, man. And it's because of all the stuff that has come together for us to not utilize our roster slots properly and to not have connective pieces making other people better. too many dudes that are individuals on this roster, man, who need somebody to get them the ball in order to be successful. I like Rui Hachimura a lot, but he might be the solution in trade, man. He holds value. People like him around the league. He's the only thing that I think we can legitimately trade without feeling ridiculous in doing so, as it pertains to the stuff that we like. Because you don't want to move Dalton Connect with the super high upside that he has, even though he's playing like just the worst. You definitely want him on your team in future years. I already see that coming. I'm not moving Austin Reeves at this value. Not with him playing like that. He means too much of what we do. I'm not moving Max Christie because I got him as one of my only athletic point of attack defenders, and I have a feeling that his value ain't high enough to get me back anything as good as him. Same thing with Austin Reeves. If I push him out, I'm not getting back anything as good as him. So I'm effectively going to get worse just by trading these people, regardless of what I take back. So for me, it's like Rui's the one constant. And I keep hearing them say, well, we're not trading Rui. We don't want to trade Rui. Hey, look, I don't want to trade Rui either. But I can't get nothing for Gabe. I can't get nothing for Jay Chess. I can't get nothing for Cam Reddish. I can't get nothing for Christian Wood. I can't get nothing for Vanderbilt. Can't get nothing for Trey Dremerson. Can't get nothing for Shake Milton. Do you see all the stuff I can't get nothing for? It's a bunch of garbage on my team. More than half the team is trash, y'all. And I need people to understand this. More than half the team is not useful to any NBA basketball team, including ours. And I'm sitting on here trying to juggle a timeline of LeBron James and Anthony Davis like we have any right to hold these guys hostage like this. They can't win on this team with this trash on it. They can't. Nobody's winning with these people, bro. So at some point in time, we got to start holding people accountable for being greedy. Genie, you got to let Bron and AD go. You need to reset your situation. You got to fire this GM at this point because he's put all this trash on your team trying to balance your situation. You have got to hire a president. You got to get the people in the room who've been making these decisions out. Whoever's been putting together this crap, who's been saying, let's do this, get them out. Because at the end of the day, this is not acceptable. It's getting worse. There's no solution for this that allows you to keep Bron, AD, and Austin and actually get what you need. It's not, your 2 picks, you're just going to get fleeced for it at this point. You don't have the leverage to demand anything good for your picks. But the picks are good. Just like everything else worth having, it gets more valuable when it goes somewhere else. Your picks, because of the decisions you made with your roster, your picks are going to be great when they get somewhere. Your team is inevitably going to suck if you give those picks away, especially if you do it for the type of stuff that people are rumored to be wanting to give to you or that you want to look for. It's not going to help your roster. Get one another involved. You're going to be too reliant on Austin Reeves and whoever you bring in to facilitate the basketball. If you bring in Lonzo Ball, now you need him to stay healthy. You bring in Markelle Fultz, now you need him to stay healthy. This is not fixable. It's not fixable. Not with 2 first-round picks and like 3 second-round picks. You are not at all going to get what you need. I'm telling you right now, I know exactly what I'm talking about. Some of the stuff you gave away was your best option. Max Lewis would have been a good option to try to develop and get a little more out of. Quincy Olivari was a piece I was counting on us calling up by this point in time in the season. You gave away the stuff that made it look like you could be any good. You don't want to do nothing with Jalen Hood-Schifino. People don't believe in him no more. They don't want to see what he can do. That's a piece you need to turn into his best self in order to capture some value for who it is that you drafted him to be. This is bad. Salute the Kobe Minute. This is bad. BDF 44, I thank y'all for watching. I'm out.